All right, family, go on and hit that subscribe button. Thank y'all for checking out the Hot Seat with David Shands. I'm your host, David Shands. We built out this platform because we truly believe that entrepreneurs just need a little bit of guidance and a little bit of exposure. Now, my coaching style is a unique style in terms of some will call it somewhat aggressive, but helpful, okay? Because I'm ultimately out to help entrepreneurs and make it fun for me as well, because I like to have fun. All right, so keep showing love. We appreciate the support. What I need y'all to do as we're going through this session is I want to hear your thoughts in real time. I want to hear what's like as you're watching it, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it as a replay. When you hear something that makes you think a thought, what I'd love for you to do is to comment that thought while you're thinking it, okay? Right in real time. I would love to hear what's going on. Your comments help out more than anything. That if I could ask anything of you, it is for your comments. All right. So we are about to get started. We're about to get this party started. This episode is always brought to you by The Morning Meetup, which is the #1 entrepreneurship community in the world, the most trusted entrepreneurship community in the whole entire world. I believe that if you have the right community and you have the right coaching, you can accomplish anything in this business world. So go to themorningmeetup.com, and check us out. But let's get this party started, man. I'm about to bring up a young lady that I literally just met maybe 30 minutes ago, and we're about to find out a little bit about her business. So, Sharday, welcome.
Hello, welcome. Well, I'm saying welcome like it's my platform. Hello.
Your video is a little choppy still, a little bit. I'm actually gonna make sure it's just not
Oh,
on my end. But you look a little blurry. Yeah, you look really blurry. So hopefully
blurry.
we can
Block
turn
that.
on your Wi-Fi or something like that. How many bars you got on your phone? It was just working too. It was just working a second ago. We'll bring her back in when her camera gets going, but I think it's gonna be valuable. You there? Sade? Sade, she's frozen. Hey, I want y'all to know that we actually did test it out a couple times before she came on, so we apologize for the technical difficulties. That joint was working just fine. All right, here we go. Let's bring her back in. Let's see. Okay, all right, you look better.
Okay, better?
Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's jump into this thing, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name's Sharday. I am a fashion enthusiast. I went to school at Central Michigan University. I got my bachelor's in broadcasting cinematic arts. I currently work in cannabis for my 9 to 5, and then my personal business is a fashion magazine. We've been open for about 3 years now. We cover everything from fashion, local designers, lifestyle, different businesses that are opening here in Detroit, entrepreneurship, things of that nature. And then we typically always utilize like local talent. So models, local photographers. We do a lot of features on local up and coming entrepreneurs and businesses as well. So,
Okay. Do me a favor, back up from the camera a little bit. A little bit, because we need to see your whole you. You know what I mean? Your whole little world. Okay.
my whole me.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
you work in cannabis. You smoke?
From time to time.
Okay. I mean, are you like like a enthusiast?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, no. Not an enthusiast. Um, it's just a part of I don't know if you would call it culture or like lifestyle experience. I feel like at some point or another, somebody might smoke. But I do find being in the cannabis industry, the interesting thing is that a lot of people, you see everybody, like from your grandma to like the earliest, legal age. And a lot of people use cannabis for like cancer, pain, stuff like that. So you get a lot of that in the industry from a dispensary side.
Right.
So that is interesting because I actually got some products for my dad because he has joint pain and he said it works. Like, so I think that was the cool thing for me because it's CBD, not just THC. So there's just a varying things of, or a variety of things that can work for you with cannabis. So I do
Yeah.
think that's cool.
What do you use it for?
I feel like for me, it's more of like personal, just personal use, not necessarily medical. But I think it's calming for me.
Okay.
It depends though. You know, sometimes you can get some that make you anxious. So I think you also just got to know, you know, your body and like what
Yeah,
makes,
it's all
what
good.
works for you. But
That
yeah.
line of question actually has nothing to do with anything. I just wanted to get started right
No,
there.
yeah, it's just, you know, even working in the industry is funny because people will come in and they're like, "Oh, I don't," you know, it's still a little controversial, you know, even though Michigan
Yeah.
is like booming with cannabis right now, it's probably there's a huge market for it. So,
Okay. All right. So what I'm really interested in is the business. So you have a fashion magazine, correct?
yes.
And I have no idea how a magazine is going to make money.
Yes.
How
Mostly
and
through
I'm sorry, I'm
advertising.
sorry. How long have you been doing it?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. 3 years.
Yeah.
Do you buy
3 years this
magazines?
past January. I buy them for research. Yes.
But you don't just pick them up
I
and
think
buy them.
not particularly.
And why do people pick up your magazine and buy them?
A couple of things. One, local. We're super hyper focused on local. We're a black owned business. We're in Detroit, Michigan. So I think those do play a factor.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
It's
hold on.
definite.
One, hold on, hold on. One, because we're
Mhm.
local. Two,
Yes, we're a
you
black owned
said
business based in
black
Detroit,
owned,
Michigan.
and we're in Michigan. Any other reason?
Niche. So like people who specifically like fashion, or are looking for magazines for functional purposes like mood board events.
So there's no real reason why people want to buy a magazine. I mean, for themselves. I mean, other than the fact
For
that
themselves.
I'm black, I'm black. I'm in Michigan. I'm local. I don't, those three things are
Right,
more
but my business
support.
model is not direct to consumer. That's not where the people who would purchase or who I would target for sales would be coming from. That would be more of like salons or hotels, luxury hotels where people aren't people don't have to buy it to utilize it or to get the benefit from it, to look at the pictures, to see what's going on in Detroit, to experience or tap into the local culture here. They
Mm.
can go to the salon and flip through the pages and leave. They can go to the hotel, flip through the pages and leave. If they really want it, they can buy it. It's more of a luxury item. It's not a necessity.
So, how do we make money?
Advertising and distribution.
Okay. So, walk me through the distribution part.
So distribution, we do annually, or we have annual rates for distribution. So if I were to, let's say, cold call, approach a hotel here, we have a lot of niche, independent hotels that are just now being built here. Some of them are extensions, like a Marriott extension, but it has a different name, the Godfrey, and they do fashion events and they're trying to tap into the local culture. So that would be the ideal client, and then I would approach them, do like a cold, pitch for the magazines, and then they would purchase the magazines annually. So they would get either 25 a month or 100 a month, or whether they're getting it for their rooms or their lobby. It just depends on like how many they want monthly, but they pay on an annual rate. So once they purchase from me, they don't technically have to hear from me again outside of getting the deliveries for the next 12 months.
And how often do you print these magazines?
Monthly.
So, you print a monthly magazine.
Yes, but I print limited copy, and my limited copies are distributed to our consumers that are like our loyal audience base. We do release parties and mixers and events, and they'll buy them there.
Let me
And
see
then
one. Let me see
mhm.
one. Do you have one? Do you have one on you?
Yeah, I do. I do. I got that. I meant to get this.
I'm
Hold on, because I'm about to go outside.
yeah, and I think one of the things that because you were talking about it's local, it's heavy
Yeah.
Michigan. I'm
Yes, heavy
still
Michigan.
yeah. There's only but so many salons or only but so many hotels, and out of the so many, you got to find somebody that's interested in actually buying this, and them buying from you isn't like I don't go into a hotel and sit in the hotel lobby and read a magazine, and I'm sure the hotel understands that too. So they're thinking we have to have some magazines there for those that do want to just sit around in the lobby and kind of kick it. But I'm not going to invest too much into this because I don't know how functional it is. So I'm very interested in hearing her pitch. Dang, she must have lost her Wi-Fi. She'll be right back. Y'all, do me a favor, y'all. Comment in the chat while we're waiting for her to come back. Um, I want to know your thoughts on this business model. You back?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
It's all good. All right, so let me see. Let me see a
But yeah,
magazine.
okay. So this one is actually the one we just did with Randy Rosario.
Flip the. Put it on the table and then flip your camera so I can see.
Uh-huh. Okay.
We're having a rough time today. We are having a rough time today. My gosh. Come on, Sade. Okay. All right. So okay.
Okay.
All right. Wow, that's
So
nice. How many
this first
pages
page
is
is
it?
it's 36 pages.
Just flip through it real quick. Just
Um,
flip through it real quick. I want to see.
okay.
Sade, ain't no way you printing that every single month. I know you're
I
not.
am.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you are spending your time. Okay. It looks beautiful, first off. It looks
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
Do you have advertisers already?
Not consistent advertisers, but we have gotten advertisers over the course of the business. I think that's our biggest pain point. But I just recently put together a solid team and a marketing like professional that's gonna help with that. So we're solidifying pitches for this first, the second quarter this year and getting all those things together. But
And how long, how many months have you been printing this every month?
so when I first started, it wasn't monthly. When I first started, the very first year, and I'm gonna flip my camera back over, but so it might disconnect. But the first year, I only printed one, and it was actually funded by my job because they just, value businesses. So they actually funded my first run, and then I just spent the year kind of building the brand identity. And then the second year, I printed four, and then we did like a couple digital issues. And then the third year, I did six. So in total, we have 12 thus far. And then this year will be our very first year printing every month consistently.
Hmm. Okay. So, all right, she had to flip her camera. She's coming right back. Somebody comment in the chat your thoughts. Give me your thoughts so far. I'm very, very interested in hearing your thoughts. Okay.
Okay.
So, year one, your job did it. Year two,
Yes.
printed four. Last year, we printed six, meaning every other month.
Yeah.
And then this year, the goal is to do it every single month.
Yes.
Who's buying these magazines?
So the first year when I only did one nobody, I just distributed them. But I distributed them at art galleries here in Detroit, about two different galleries, one clothing store,
Right,
and it
right
was
now,
just
right
mostly
now,
for
right now, right now. Who's
data.
buying these?
Right now, nobody's buying them.
So
But my goal is not to be direct to consumer, which up until this year was my focus. So I'm pivoting. But I'm pivoting because I realize that there's not a functional need for it from a consumer standpoint, but they do enjoy it. Everywhere it's distributed, they're gone within 7 days.
how
So
many do you typically print?
right now I print 30. When I first started, I printed 50, but that's too much. It's too much overhead. So I print 30 and then we do our monthly like mixer release party event, whatever, and then I sell them. So our first one was January 1st on New Year's this year, and we sold half our inventory. So we sold 15 copies out of the 30.
How much is it? How much are you selling for?
$15.
$15. How much does it cost you to print them?
$8.
$8 to print them. So we make $7.
Yeah.
So the most we could actually make is $210. Our last
From the
run,
15 copies, yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
no, from the 30 copies.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
With the
if we
yep, just
profit
the call.
seven, yeah, if we
Yep,
profit
yep.
seven, then and what we made from our last run was half of that.
Enough to redistribute the second one, which is my goal for this year, is to get it out of my pocket and into the magazine's pocket, not necessarily be unrealistic about the profit
Yeah,
margins.
but I don't see how this is going to generate. All right,
And
so
this is not the
one,
end goal either. So that's also something that'll keep in, something to keep in mind. And it's an end goal that I'm not comfortable sharing virtually to, the general public. But this is not the end goal. This is a piece of a larger puzzle that will generate money long term. But this is not what I believe I'm going to retire off of in the next 10 years.
okay. My one question that I don't want you to answer right now because I got a bunch of questions, but I want you to hold on to this question. Do you need
Yeah.
this magazine to get to the end goal? Don't answer that question just yet. My
Okay.
real question is the only way if a major the way a magazine typically makes money is from the advertisers, right?
Yes.
So no advertiser is going to advertise when you're only printing 30 and only selling 15 of your last copy. No advertiser wants to say, yo, let me get in front of these 15 people.
No, which is why I don't pitch it that way.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how you're going to pitch it.
So up until this point, which I haven't determined with my team whether or not it's going to change, which it probably is. But up until this point, what I would do for advertisers is actually pitch them on distribution but giving them a free ad. So they're purchasing the magazine for whatever reason for their business to make it look more aesthetically pleasing, luxurious for customers to flip through when they're bored and they're just sitting and waiting for their appointment, whatever the case may be. But they're also getting an ad that's getting distributed to other locations. It was definitely more beneficial when I was paying for 50 copies to be printed. But I think that the overhead doesn't make sense for the present state of the business. But our digital audience is about 1,000 people a month. So we also loop in our digital reach to our ad sales. So it's not just like they're buying one print ad in a magazine that gets distributed to 30 people every month. They're getting the print because that's what customers like, but they're also getting organic digital advertising through our articles. And then they're getting social media advertising as well. Our lowest ad tier is $300, but it includes a package that includes the print ad, the social media push, and then the organic article integration as well, which people pay
Okay.
for articles to be done
All
on them
right.
all the time.
So I pay you $300. And what are the other tiers?
The other tiers are $650, and that gets you a 2-page spread with a digital article feature, a 60-day web banner on our website, and then 4 organic social media ads, and then 1,800. But that includes a full service production interview as well
Let's just say the
on top of
650.
that.
Let's just talk about the
Yeah.
650 real quick, okay? I give you
Yeah.
650 for a full page spread. It's like 2 pages.
Yep. 2-page
Well,
spread.
the at the traffic to the website. Do we know how
Yeah.
much traffic is going to the website?
Yes.
How much?
150 people a month to the website, and then 1,000 people a month to our independent publishing platform. So we also publish on medium.com, which is an independent like journalist platform, but that's where most of our readers come from because we're a niche brand.
I
So we're in
I
the
can't
process of
see
routing them.
outside of support. Like I just like you as a person and I want to support. I don't see someone giving you $650. And the fact
For an ad.
here's for an ad, yeah, for sure. I don't see anybody giving you anything for an ad because I don't. Here's the thing. We have, for one, there's no big difference between 30 copies and 50 copies. And if you think
No.
so, then that, because you was like, yo, 50 too much overhead, 30's right about good because I'm selling 15. I think the biggest challenge is you're not going out to build the business. If you can't, yeah, you haven't sold. It takes you I would imagine a month at least to put this stuff together and a bunch of money, and you go
No.
out and sell 15. How long does it take to write these
I could
articles?
put, yeah, like 10 hours, not
Okay.
including production.
What you chat GPT?
No, not everything, but I mean,
So when you
it's
interview
2025.
when you interview
No,
some
those are
people,
written. Those are written.
what you mean? I mean, but you got to
The
interview the
articles
person then
by,
write it.
yes,
Yeah. So I mean, you're calculating
but
10
that's
hours.
including production time. So the only people that we're interviewing are cover talents. We don't do in-person interviews for features because they don't pay us.
But if you're not even like finding, it takes to give someone like true value every single month. We can't just chat GPT it. We need to find out what's going on in the city. We got to like write it
Oh, of
well.
course. No, it's not all chat GPT. I'm just saying I utilize that. We have writers that write every week. That's just regular content that goes
Yeah.
out.
So
This
a
is,
collective 10 hours of your brain, how to put it together. Design is designed for a magazine. Design takes a while.
you said it looked nice.
It does look nice. I'm just saying
So
design takes a while.
now
Here's my point. Here's my point.
yes,
Let me
there's a time where I spent that much time, but based on our overhead versus what we're bringing in, I have to maximize my time. So
right.
when we are talking about how much is going to put into it, knowing that someone's not buying it off the shelf every week, that uh persuades me to push my time elsewhere. So I
100%.
mean,
I
yeah,
get you on that. I get you on that. So, but what I'm saying is, I'm not even talking about the business model. I'm not talking about
yeah,
selling on the street. From a CEO, solopreneur standpoint, for one, I don't know why you need a team to put this stuff together, and we only sold 15 copies. From your perspective,
yeah.
I don't see that you even have the hustle to go out and build this thing. You spend this time putting
Well,
together a magazine, and the best we do is 15 copies. You could at least sell the 50. Like you gotta
yes,
go out there and like build the business for a while, get people interested, get people
yeah, for
engaged.
sure. For
Those
sure. Which
15
is what
was
we're
your
doing,
friends.
this year.
Well, also for the last
So
3 years.
yes, it was a long time, but you also have to think I have a job. Like, I'm not putting my every, like, I have to account for the fact that I work 45 hours. I'm not just an employee, I'm also like a supervisor. So I have like a regular 9 to 5. But this year, the reason that the team is valuable is because we're integrating in different ways. So, like, for example, you say you wouldn't get an ad, but one of the other ways that we're pushing other people's businesses, pushing product to different consumers is through events. So we have a content day collaboration that we just put together with a local studio here, called Her Social Room. They do different content days every month. They're trying to build membership. They're a newer business. doing that similar to well, not really. I was gonna say similar to what you have going on, but not really. They're a studio, so they house room for people to come and create content, right? And so we're doing a collaboration where in those content days we're integrating products from businesses, with us as the front facing platform for those businesses entry into the program, right? So they're getting user generated content at the event. We're integrating them into our advertising digitally and in our print. And then we have three different businesses that are pushing that content as well. So they're getting cross promotion. And then those models that we're bringing for these events, like I said, I'm in Detroit. There are models in Detroit that are on Vogue Runway just this weekend for New York Fashion Week that I've worked with. So there's social capital here that's not 100% being tapped into from a media perspective. But that's essentially what we're aiming to do. So there are different ways that we're integrating visibility into our business model that's not just the print ad, because I understand that that's not a selling point, but that is the product. So the product
This
was always used for as an advertising tool for the brand, and now the
this
brand can
let
expand.
me ask this: the studio that you're partnering with, they're new, right?
Yeah.
So they don't have a big
Yeah.
audience either, right?
They have uh they have a decent audience, I would say, because they also use their space for events. So they have event bookings and things of that nature.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think it's
I have
under
event.
5 years though.
Gotcha. I have event bookings too, but it's not it's not like super jumping like that. If I do an
I mean,
event,
no, but it also depends on who you know.
true.
Here, I mean, a lot of places, but
getting me in front of some people. How big is the venue? Is it big?
it's about 1,000, 1,500 square feet.
Okay, so fairly small building.
Yeah, she fits 6 sets though. There's 6 different sets in there.
Got it. But if I do an event, it's pretty much going to be all in one space. Or my thing is,
Yes.
you don't have an audience, they don't have an audience. An advertiser is looking to get in front of an audience, and you're not sharing with me. It sounds cool. The event sounds cool, and yes, I have a
Right.
bunch
Which
of
is
different avenues
why
for exposure, but like
So that
exposing
goes
it to
back
who?
to the magazine though, because the audience was built by giving them away for free. I'm just no longer trying
Okay.
to give them away for free, but I'm still putting them in those spaces where the loyalty has been built up. So, like, the reason that we even have 1,000 readers is because we've been posting for a year, 2 years.
When you say 1,000
So,
readers, what do you mean? Like
on
a
our on
email list?
the on no on the independent platform. So like I said, we have our website, and then we also publish on an independent platform called Medium, which is like Reddit for journalists.
Okay.
And so they have a large readership of people who are looking for authentic, niche content, and so that's where majority of our readership comes from. But that capital was built over the course of us posting unapologetically for, I mean, since 2024.
So real quick, when you say 1,000 readers, are you saying like you can see the impressions of like how many eyes were
Yes,
on
the
that
impressions.
particular?
So yes, so we get 1,000 impressions a month. Let me correct myself. And out of those impressions, a reader is categorized as someone who spends 30 seconds or more on an article. We get about anywhere between 4 to 800 of those. It just depends on the month.
Hey, first off, out of 1,000 impressions, you're not getting 800 readers. An
That's just what
impression
it tells me.
an impression says, "Oh, I stumbled on the wrong website. I check it out, cool." Or I got on the website, I saw the
Right.
title, started reading, then I got distracted. My phone rang. But if you got 1,000 impressions, it doesn't translate into readers yet until we look at that number. So you must have higher impressions or you have lower readers,
Yes.
but it's not that close together.
Probably a little bit. It's just not always the same every month.
For
And I don't
sure,
have
of
like an
course.
average for you.
I
It's
got you.
just some months it might be like 1,000, and then out of that the readers is like I said 4 or 500. And
Got
then
you.
you get the 1,200 months, 1,400 months, and then those readers are like 800. So it just
Yeah.
depends on.
Here's
But it has been increasing steadily since January of 2024.
Gotcha. Here's my advice. I think there's a better way to make money and use your talents. because the
Yeah,
magazine, for
sure.
one, people don't buy magazines anymore, and like there are fewer people don't even people don't do as many vision board parties as they used to because magazines are harder to come by because people aren't printing magazines because who grabs a magazine, sits there and reads it when they have their cell phone to the information of the
But
world
the digital
is
capital is real though,
yes 100%. However,
which we can capitalize on as a news network.
yeah, cool. I'm just saying it's not that good of idea to keep printing magazines because you must make good money. You make good money at your job.
Yeah.
That's why you can keep printing these magazines and not making any money because you make good money at your job. But I'm telling you, this is a broken business model. Getting into magazine like hard copy magazines is a bad idea. And it's a bad idea
Yeah.
unless you have the capacity to really promote. I would prefer you do a daily blog than a whole magazine release every single month.
But
That's
that's what gets
crazy. There's no
our community together, like our
you
community
sold
outside of the digital
15
space.
copies. You don't have a community. You
That's
sold 15
arguable.
out you got sold 15 out of the 30. And we still got
Yeah.
15 that's just sitting there.
But
And
but you also have to
I'm
take
talking about
into
the last one.
consideration
I'm not talking about the ones
but
before that.
yes, yes, but you also well, and I mean, either way, I don't think it makes a big difference. I'm really just rooting for myself. But I was gonna say you also have to take into consideration the day and the experience because we had that release party on New Year's Day. It was
Mm-hmm.
cold as hell outside. It was
Yep.
snowing in Detroit. And you know, I think it has room to grow. But like I said, it's not my ideal moneymaker. Like I plan on going back to school and getting a degree in something
Yes.
else because I want to go into the museum space. I got my degree in communications, but I didn't realize until recently that that's not what I want to do. But like I said, I have, it's about the resources and relationships too. So one of the galleries that I used to volunteer my time at, but they distribute the magazine. I can have a gallery show there, but the industry for being in a museum is not the type of industry where you really can just make it out the mud on your own. Like they want you to have that education. So using that time wisely, and like I said, there's a bigger end goal that I can't speak about online.
Yes. But here's the thing.
There's
Here's the thing.
a
Here's the thing.
way to integrate. Yes,
That bigger end goal, I guarantee there's a better way to get there than printing these magazines.
the magazine is
Two,
not required for the
yeah,
end goal. No.
100%. I'm telling you, you are wasting time with this magazine. And here's the thing. We do cool stuff. You're creative, 100%
Yeah.
through and through, right?
Mm.
Creatives don't think about the business. We think about, oh, this would be cool. I could do an event and I could print this pretty magazine that loses me money and actually doesn't help me expand the brand
I've
at
been getting
all.
money back on my taxes, but
There's a better way to make money than
there,
getting money
yes,
back on your taxes. You understand?
I could agree with you. I could agree with you.
You are tethered to this idea because it's your idea. But I'm telling you right now, it's just not a good idea. And you don't have the time or the hustle to go out and make it a good idea. I would here's some
I don't
advice.
know.
Because you
Yes.
want to put together a magazine, I think just having a blog where you're putting all this content up on the blog that lives forever, way better idea. And maybe once a quarter, we compile a bunch of the stuff, we interview somebody for the cover, and we do the cool event that gives exposure to the magazine. But the whole purpose of the event is to get a bunch of people together and push readership for the next 4 months or 3 months so that and I not even every quarter, I'd probably say twice a year, that pushes readers for the next year. And then we start getting
Mm.
advertisement. But you're not a good marketer. You're just not good at
No,
that.
that's why I have a marketing person. I don't
I
do
know.
that. It's not
But
my
now
thing.
but now do you have to pay this marketing person?
No.
Oh well. How
I
long
mean,
have you
I'm doing it smart now, and it's not. I don't have to not pay them because they're not good at what they do. It's just the relationship. They're everything. Even here in Detroit, everything is built on predicated on relationships. Like there's so many
Yeah.
content creators here and people doing things here, and obviously that doesn't just mean it's a shoe in to make money, but there's an ecosystem that's developing here that hasn't necessarily been present the past 10 years or
You from
so.
Detroit too, huh?
Yeah, I'm from Detroit.
Born and raised.
Born and raised, West
Okay.
Side, Dexter and
I'm
Davidson.
respectfully, your brain is extremely local, and it's not being. You're not. Your brain is not expanding to. I want to put
I've
on for
been
my
to New
city.
York,
You've been to
but
New York,
yeah.
but it reminds me. It reminds me of a person from a neighborhood that sells drugs in their neighborhood, and they're trying to say, "This
Really?
is my block, and I own this block, and don't nobody come to my block."
Well,
And you're 40 years old, like just in your own backyard. What I want you to do, you need a
okay.
business. You have some talents and abilities. You have the personality, the creativity. That magazine is fire. You need somebody that thinks business around you, because the other people
Yeah.
in your community are probably creators too. I love me some good
Yes, no,
creators.
I
We gel.
definitely am open to business
Yeah.
mentors, and I have
This
a
is a
couple,
bad
but
business idea.
they're not in the realm of like what I'm doing. It's like a tech company
Yeah.
owner and people that I connected with when I was in college, but do have long-standing businesses here in Detroit, are also not people of color. But that doesn't really matter when you talk about a business mentor. But I'm just saying that for context.
Yeah.
So
Yo, the fact that you can put a fire magazine together in 10 hours is very impressive. It really is.
thank
Well,
you.
if you can do that for other brands or companies, you'd
Right.
probably make way more money.
Which I'm working on too.
There's
But when this is my, even if this ends, right? This is my like proof, type of a thing, or like this is that what, because I don't have professional training in certain things, and I do think that in this landscape of careers, like that matters a lot. I can't just go get a job printing for someone or digitally designing. I don't have a design degree. I got my degree in communications and radio
Yeah, but you don't
and
need
news,
one. You know what I thought to myself when I saw it? I was like, dang, it'd be dope if she put together a magazine for me that I'm using just as a centerpiece on somebody's living room, like a dope joint for social proof, and I just put a bunch of entrepreneurship stuff in there. And I would print something like that because I have an audience of people that will buy it, or I can find some advertisers to put it in, especially if I'm going to distribute thousands of them. But also it
right,
helps. The only reason I'm doing it is to push my podcast or to push my community. So I'll be leveraging this magazine as a piece to push something greater. But
right.
I'm saying you're not looking at it that way. So this
I
business
get that.
model,
I don't have that
yes,
audience.
yes. And I'm going to help you. This business model is broken the way you're doing it. Stop doing that. I don't want you to print a magazine
Okay.
every month.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's a bad idea. You're going to lose money.
Yeah.
We need to think
Okay.
about the business model first. What is a way that we can make a lot of money doing the cool stuff that we want to do? This magazine is not it. We have to think of a bigger model that maybe the magazine helps push that,
Yes,
but
it
not.
definitely does. Like I told you, there's a thing, but I
You
can't
got
tell
to
you online.
you got to tell me some bit of the thing, because
Okay, so for example, I mentioned Condé, or well, I mentioned Anna Wintour in Vogue and Condé Nast. I didn't mention Condé Nast, but if you don't know Vogue, right, then you might not know Condé Nast.
I don't.
Condé Nast owns Vogue. Condé Nast is a shell company for multiple publications. They
Mm-hmm.
own Vogue. They own GQ. They own most of the magazines that you can pick off a shelf and be like, "Ooh, this is the luxury fashion section." Vogue, Condé Nast, they all own that. And so they're able to leverage all of those different brands for their social capital. That's why they make money. Not because Vogue exists on its own, but nobody would know that because it's not their industry. They don't look that stuff up.
Yeah, but
But
Vogue. Listen, Vogue is struggling.
yeah, they are struggling, but they're also
Every
moving into the
magazine
digital
print,
space.
Yes, every magazine print company is struggling. All of them.
Yes,
All of them. So some of them are
that's
going
fair.
into digital, right? And let's say,
Right,
for instance, like even the New York Times, which is a prominent publication, they moved into a membership model. I know it
right.
because
A
I
few
actually
people
have
are
it,
doing that.
and I pay
Yeah,
$4 a week or something like that. But
yeah,
that company, it has a whole team to make sure we're updated on everything in the world. People aren't going to pay
yeah.
$4 a week for a novelty thing in Detroit. Like
Yeah, but we don't
even
only cover Detroit information. But yes, I agree with you. We would have to have more reach, which would take more leg room or legwork, which is capable definitely by a small team. We have Detroit Free Press here, and all those people are not in office anymore. But
you said
that would
Detroit
require it
pre-press.
free press, but that would
What's
require it
that?
to be my staff's full time job, and that's not realistic.
100%. And you're not going to get a return from that. We need to think of a whole
Yeah.
nother business model. And I know I hope the thing that you're leading to isn't, man, I'm going to have this consortium of a bunch of different magazines and I'm going to distribute all the magazines.
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay. If it's anything like that, that's a bad idea too. Because there aren't a
Yeah,
whole
I
lot of
would
them
as
that are
soon as you
making
say that.
money and you don't have the distribution for it. We need to think of a whole nother idea. And again, I'm saying this to you because I've been there. It's something that's been on my heart and something that I've done already. So I feel I got to keep pushing, even though I don't even see the end result of how it's going to win.
Yes.
You are too talented and creative to be doing this business.
Well,
You could make
thanks for the
millions doing
perspective.
something. For sure. You could make millions doing
Oh
something.
yeah,
It's just not this.
that's
So what I want you
a
to do,
fair
for
perspective.
one, you need to join the morning meetup because I need to be your coach. Go to themorningmeetup.com. This is a bit of my commercial. Themorningmeetup.com.
Okay.
I talk to my community like this every day. And we see people are growing because it's really the mindset. I need you to break you out of like local star, being this local person that people talk about, to building a sustainable business model that people really, really want to pay for. And I don't know what that's going to be just yet. And I guess my whole goal right now is to just talk you out of your dream. So I just want to talk you out of this,
Well, thanks
unfortunately.
for the transparency. And there's
No problem.
more. I think that it's definitely a passion project. But I think that it has room in my long-term project, which I told you I also feel like I have to go back to school. So, and that is not just a part of me seeking a better job in like the regular
Mhm.
career space, but also for my future like business endeavors.
Have you ever thought about how to
So,
make $1 million?
yeah, I think about it probably almost every day,
Okay.
trying to figure it out.
So there's a bunch of ways to make $1 million, and I'm sure
Yes.
you haven't figured out with this magazine, correct?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
no.
I want you to like spend some time with yourself figuring out how to make $1 million. Like do the math. Like what type of product, even if it's not something that you're passionate about, even if it's not something that you're going to even do ever, it's a good
Yeah.
exercise to get your brain working on how do I make $1 million? How do I make what's going to pay me $83,333.34 every single month? Because that's going to lead to the $1 million. What kind of business model could I do? I want you to think through that.
One. Okay, I'll think through it, but I think I have an idea.
You have one. Tell me about it. Tell it to me.
So one thing that we're trying to do with it was with the magazine, but like you said, I could leverage my skill set in a different way than it just being a magazine, right?
Okay.
So my team is also a team of creatives, like I'm sure you could have figured. But we have a production team. We have like the marketing person that I told you I'm working with. We have the studio. So what we're doing is trying to come together to develop packages so that people have a full service content creation and marketing team to leverage all of our talents and businesses into money, essentially. Which we're using the magazine for from a distribution perspective, but that could easily be turned into like, marketing materials, like digital or print marketing materials or what have you. I think that that has potential as well, but we're recently, it's a new build out.
Yeah.
So,
So if you have that design eye, what I would do is create some sort of agency for entrepreneurs, because agencies need branding, they need ideas, they need the creative. That's where your sauce is. It's in your brain on how you can see something and make it look better, right?
yeah.
I can make something beautiful. Now, if you come to me as a, as a businessman or somebody who knows how to take something beautiful and sell it, I just don't know how to make it. Oh, well, you have $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 packages for me.
Right.
And if we have a $10,000 package, we only have to find 8 entrepreneurs that understand how to make money, that where they can 5x their income by me making their stuff beautiful. Yo, you wouldn't imagine what I pay for people to do design for my events and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's where your sauce is, not the magazine. If I'm doing a conference, right, called Podcast Summit, it'll be late July, August. And this is my 3rd year doing
Mm-hmm.
it. We had 750 people the first year, 1,100 the second year. We'll have about 1,500 to 2,000 this year. Well, I think it would be really, really cool to launch a magazine that has a bunch of my own advertisement in there. So if it's 1,500 people there, I got my own advertisement in there. So all the readers say, I want to buy this thing. It's QR codes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
how much do you think I would pay you to create something like that for me?
Definitely a couple thousand.
For sure. Why? Because I know I'll make 100 off of it.
Right.
But you have to give people these ideas and these concepts of what you can create for people like me that have something special. I got a book. This is my book. Dreams are built. You can't
Mm-hmm.
see it. It's on this side. Now, Dreams are built overnight. That's a book. Why isn't it a magazine to push the book? Why can't we take principles out of the book to make it cool picture stuff in a magazine, and you design that and you create that for me? Because if you'd approach me with that, I'd be like, ooh, run it, because I'd sell more books with this magazine.
Right.
That's where you shine. I don't even have to give you these ideas, because you're a creative and you think of them all the time.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
find 8 me's that will give you 10,000. I'm not going to give you $10,000, and I'll let you do it for me as a test, because I'm not going to pay you. But you find some people, right, where you're showing this is the model, this is the business model. I deliver this, 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 and this. This is the result that they're going to get. This is how much they got to pay me. That's called a
Mm-hmm.
package. And you go find people
Right.
who want this package.
Yeah.
You're not paying any of your team, are you? Right?
Yes.
Bad
Not
idea.
everybody.
Because you don't need this team. You don't need the team. Like, it's just, you need
Yeah.
partners. You need to sell them a vision. Yo, this is how we're going to make $1 million. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. I'm not paying any of y'all up front, but based on the growth of the company, I will give you percentages of things that sell. Y'all with it? But if they don't start making some money, they're leaving you.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yes. So, all right, no
So,
more magazines. Don't print no 12 magazines this year. I'm telling you, I promise you, I will go on a campaign hating on your magazine if you do that. It's just not a good idea. And you're too talented to keep doing this.
okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Go to a salon, one of the salon clients, and say, yo, I think you need your own magazine. Like, where people are reading your stuff and your advertisements and your products and your services. You got all these people
Mm,
coming in here. I'll design it. You already know how it takes you 10 hours to create it. Look, give me 5,000. I'll put the whole thing together for you, however many pages. You print as many as you want. I give you the plug where you can get them cheaper. And you need to figure out a way to get them cheaper, because $8 is a lot. It's a lot of money. But I give you the plug, create it, bang, give me the $5,000.
mm.
It'll help your business grow.
Okay. I could definitely get them cheaper too. It just I would have to
Got
order
to.
more. 30,
Well,
30 copies is nothing, so that's why
Well,
it's
you
$8.
wouldn't order more. You're doing it for your client. You're telling them, yo, you need to really get 1,000, because 1,000 is only gonna cost you $2.
Right. Yeah.
You get 1,000, cost you $2, $2,000. the stuff inside of there and your brand is worth, I mean, what's it worth to you? Or you can sell them at cost or sell them for $5. And they take the cost and also they take it home and it's on their desk.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell the salon owner, we don't got to put your name on it, but your advertise in there, but you can sell them wholesale to other salon owners because it's the same content that's for that particular audience. I'll sell it to you for $3. I get it for $2 and my brand expands. But you need a business partner. You need to join the morning meetup so I can help you for the next year. It's $500 for the whole year, and I will talk to you every day, Monday through Friday, for the whole year, and you'll get this kind of conversation and information. And every Thursday we do Q&A. I want to help you shape your business. You need to do this.
Okay.
You should.
All right.
Are you gonna join the morning meetup?
Okay. Yes, I'm gonna join the morning meetup. I guess I've been watching you for too long to tell you no.
Too long.
So
Yeah, first off, you owe me $500 for this consultation right here because I'm about to save you a lot of time and you're about to make a lot more money. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So congratulations, talked you out of your dream, but we're about to have a bigger dream. We're gonna make more money. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions
for
for me before we get out of here?
No. Just when are you gonna let me make this magazine for you for your event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Depending on the amount of money you charge, but yes.
Okay. I can make it reasonable for you.
Yeah. Let's start working on it ASAP. Let's start working on it ASAP. So you got Kay's information, right?
Yeah.
Reach out to her. Let's make it happen.
Okay. For sure. Thank you.
All right. You're very welcome. I look forward to seeing you in the morning meetup.
Absolutely. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, family. I think Sade did a good job. And here's the point. I need to get some music. I'm gonna start. You know what? Next hot seat, maybe next hot seat. I'm gonna find like some little instrumentals to play at the end of this because I think that'll drive the point home. But sometimes we do stuff because we've been doing the stuff. That's the only reason we do it. The only reason we do it is because we've been doing it. Just like somebody that's been in a bad relationship, a terrible relationship, they're still in the relationship because they've been in a relationship for the last 5 years. I've been in a relationship for 10 years. And the only reason I got to 15 years is because I was in a relationship for 10 years. The only reason I got in a relationship for 10 years is because I was in it for 5 years. The only reason I've been in this relationship for 5 years is because this is the person that I know. And then we find ourselves in an unhappy situation because this is what we've always done, even when it doesn't make any sense. So as an entrepreneur, it's important that we need to make it make sense. And to my creatives, and I too am a creative, I'm a recovering creative where I just want to do creative stuff and I don't count the cost and I don't think about how it's going to expand. To my creatives, you better get somebody around you that thinks money, that thinks business, that thinks strategy, doesn't just think cool stuff. We think cool stuff as creatives. Wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Oh, if I did this event in my city, in my hometown, oh my gosh, the whole city's eyes are going to be on me. So what? We can't think this local. I want to be popular in my city. And our idea of popularity in our city isn't really popularity. It's like nobody really cares the next day. I've been doing events for a long time, big events. A couple weeks after the event, ain't nobody thinking about me. They thinking about the stuff that they doing. So we're chasing something that doesn't exist in our backyard. And the good news is, Sade, the lady that young lady that we had on today, I think she's incredible and she's super gifted. And we're typically not gifted in a bunch of different areas. So somebody's gift might be thinking about how to make some money and they do it in an ugly way. They just go out and hustle. I know one of my OGs, he just go do it. He just go run. It's not super polished, but he makes a bunch of money. That's his gift. So he needs somebody that has the gift of the art of it to make it look pretty, to make it look sexy, branding, all that stuff. My man, he just go get it. He go get the money. But there's somebody who has the idea, the gifts of branding and marketing and visually and how people are going to feel when they engage with this brand. Well, their gift is in business, which means once we understand the blind spot, we understand where we're lacking, we need to find people or processes to cover those blind spots. People or processes to cover our blind spots. So as Sade builds out her team, she doesn't need another creative. She needs somebody that knows how to make some money, because they'll be able to see her talent and figure out how I can take that talent and go make money with it. That's a person covering her blind spots. However, some of us only feel comfortable engaging with people that are like us because we get to have these riffs about creative stuff. Whoa, you think creative? Oh, this would be amazing if we did this and this and that and that. And maybe they think just as local as I do. And we're thinking about how we can take over our city. Who cares? Ain't no money taking over your city. Not anymore. It used to be that way. Not anymore. You can be local because the internet wasn't as prominent or prevalent. I don't know what the word is. Where the only thing people see is the thing in their backyard. And you're catering to people that are in their backyard. But now we have the world at our fingertips. So being a local celebrity or local hero just doesn't make sense. So I love you all, man. I want nothing but the best for you. And I want y'all to build a really, 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 really big business. And these are the conversations that it's going to take to build something massive. Okay. So we'll be back next week. Go watch the rest of the hot seat episodes because we done had some guests on this show. You hear me? And I got to cook them every time. But in closing, I don't ever want anybody to think that I am the business guru. Now, for small business entrepreneurs, I know a thing or two, and I've helped countless entrepreneurs, but I'm not the business guru. The way this show got started was my mentors putting me in the hot seat. And in fact, if someone put me in the hot seat about my business, they would flame me, souffle me, because I don't have everything together. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm like sitting here high and mighty. I'm the best in the world. Now I do make millions as an entrepreneur, and I'm for sure looking to get to that next level. So I need somebody to put me in the hot seat. This is what it is. Okay, so I love y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for chiming in. Thank you so much for the support. We'll be back next week with another entrepreneur that has no idea what they're doing. All right, we out here. Peace.